What up, everyone? It is good to be back. I had to take a little break because I had a shitstorm of stuff to deal with. Had some terrible personal issues, had some family issues, had some work issues, had some camera issues, lost some of my footage, like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So every day, and I was just out of town for like a week, so things kept getting more and more pushed off. Now I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to try and make this video short and sweet so I can move through this monthly review and get on to next month's boxes, because they all showed up while I was out of town, so I have like 10 boxes already, so I'm a little behind. But luckily I've been doing pretty good about getting caught up here and there, so I'll just have to do a shitload of videos all at once. Anyway, enough about my personal problems. This is the monthly review. These are the boxes of December. Now these boxes just finished getting here. The last box of December came actually only a few days ago. And that's how the monthly boxes work. They start arriving the 15th of one month, and they don't stop arriving until the 15th of the next month. So they're technically December's boxes, but most of them come in January, or a lot of them do. Anyway, I'm going to skip my little spiel today that I normally do in the monthly review, because I think everyone gets the gist. If you're watching this video at this point, I think you understand it, but basically, I'm just here to help you try to find the best box. The best box for your money, the best box for your value, the best box for your personal interests. I have 18 boxes, I believe, here today. We're going to start at 18, go to number 1, and just try to figure out what works best for you. And yeah, just trying to be helpful, if nothing else. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll talk about the items in the box briefly. I'll show a picture, but just know there's individual videos of everything else. And again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to voice them in the comments below, and I usually always get to them eventually. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. Let's start off with number 18, and if I need to say anything more, I'll say it in between boxes. But let's just jump right into it. Also, something to know, if you're wondering about a specific box, I'll put a timestamp in the description, so feel free to jump ahead, because this is going to be a long video. But I'm going to try to keep it short, but 18 boxes, it's pretty hard to do. So feel free to look at the time descriptions and see what they are. So number 18, Powered Geek Box. This is the last one I'll get from this company. I wasn't a big fan of them. They started out okay. The company got bought out. It used to be Power Up Box, and the company got bought out, changed it to Powered Geek Box, and in the process of the takeover, it kind of died down a lot, and there was not great customer service, blah-de-blah. Anyway, the things in here were pretty generic. The value was extremely low. Had problems with customer service and with them billing department and things like that. So this is the last one we're going to see, at least for a while, until they revamp the company. Hopefully they make it better so it can come back, because this is a $40 box and it has good potential. Being at such a high price point, you can put bigger and better items in there, but they haven't been doing that, but they do have the potential to do that. So I hope they make the company better. And everything in here I could have done without, except the shirt. The shirt was very awesome. It had this Pokemon shirt that was double-sided. That was actually really cool. Everything else I could have totally done without. Low score, low value, not the best company to deal with, so I'd hold off dealing with this company until they work out their kinks and until they've totally revamped the company and made it bigger. So hopefully it comes back with a vengeance, but for now, it's at the bottom of the countdown. Not the best. Alrighty, number 17 is Gacha Crate. So this one is the reason it's lower on the countdown. One, it didn't have a high value, and two, it's for a pretty narrow market. This crate is full of quarter machine figures. They're called Gashapon figures in Japan. Basically, things that you would get at a machine that you pay a quarter or $1 for, whatever. And they're kind of random. Sometimes you get good ones, sometimes they're just super random. Things that are probably very popular in Japan, but not so popular here. This month, however, was very entertaining. I personally liked it, and I was very entertained by everything in here, and it was really interesting to read about things from Japan. But other than that, there's not really much value to it. The figures were okay, they were good quality, but they were more for entertainment value. I enjoyed the unboxing, and if you haven't watched that video, please check it out. They put some really funny shit in here this month, and yeah, I thought it was hilarious, and I think everyone had a good time watching that video. But other than that, there's not much to it. Last month didn't wow me, this month didn't wow me either. It's good stuff, but it's just not quite worth that dollar amount every month. I think it's in the $25 range, and that's just kind of a lot to pay for random figures where you're kind of only getting your money back, so We'll have to see if this one's going to stay around much longer or not. But, you know, it's still entertaining nonetheless because you get an experience of different culture. You get to experience things that you probably don't ever see here. So that's still cool, but again, very narrow market. I'm sure not a lot of people would like that. People would like to see what's in it, but you just watch channels like me that unbox it. I don't think anyone would necessarily want those items in particular. Anyway, number 17, Gacha Crate. Number 16, Sci-Fi Block. So the Nerd Block company usually always does a great job, but Sci-Fi Block has not done great. I believe this is their second or third, I can't remember. But anyway, they just haven't really done a great one. They're okay. They're not bad. You get decent value. You get pretty good value on there. It's a $30 box, and you get pretty close to $50. But the stuff in there has just been pretty generic for each month. This one we got 3 prints in there, and so a lot of people said they like that. And that's fine. I have no problem against prints. I like artwork, but I just feel like 3 is too many. That's just not enough variety. I love art prints. I love artwork. I have tons of artwork, but I wouldn't want all of it in one box. I wouldn't want that many in one particular box because they could have spread it out throughout the months and continued a collection or whatever. And so that was just my personal thoughts on it. But even still, the other stuff in here was not particularly rare. It didn't have a high resale value, and it just didn't do it, and it hasn't been doing it. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to cancel this box because they just haven't really hit it home. And I've been having problems with this company personally, some issues with billing and stuff like that. And there's really no referral program. There's no discounts or anything like that. And they keep promising things and then not delivering. So I'm getting kind of bummed out from this company. And Sci-Fi Block, it just hasn't been doing it at all. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to get canceled. But they have one more month to wow me. We'll see. Anyway, that got it pretty low on the countdown at number 16. Number 15. 1UP Box. So this is a nice little box. It's very cheap. At the most, you'll pay 20 bucks for it. But you can also get it a lot cheaper because they have a great referral program, which I really appreciate. But the things in here were not of great quality this month. A lot of the things were third-party items, meaning they made them themselves. They were like crossovers or like cheap quality things that they made themselves. They weren't branded products. They were like weird aftermarket stuff, so that just didn't really show quality. And a lot of times they do that. Sometimes they have great boxes, but they're kind of hit and miss. Like some months they'll have a good one, and then they'll have ones like this where it's like the t-shirt design wasn't really great, the quality of the design was kind of poor, and the quality of the items was kind of poor. Still fine, it was still good, still worth it, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of that whole third-party crossover thing. So the more branded a company or a box can get, the better. But this one didn't quite do that. So it gets pretty low on the countdown. But for such a cheap box, I still always keep it around because a lot of times it's only a couple bucks after you refer some people, so why not? But that's still around. So that is number 15. Number 14 would be Villain Crate. Now this one's pretty good. We're kind of getting out of the low tier here and kind of getting close to the mid tier. This one was fine, nothing wrong with it. You got the Star Wars theme. So this one wasn't a specific character, it was just villains from Star Wars, which is fine. But a lot of the items in here they got had a high value, but they weren't really practical. Because we got a luggage tag, and that's fine, but I can't imagine anyone really needing like more than one luggage tag, and I doubt you happen to need one right then. It was a good quality luggage tag, and it costs a lot to get those, but it's like, okay, it's a luggage tag, whatever. I thought the bookmark was cool. They had a film cell bookmark. Sure, it was okay, and then we got a common pop, Kylo Ren, which we've seen in a bunch of other boxes. It was just a little too common, and the value was fine, but it just wasn't fantastic. So this one was okay. Like how I feel mostly about Hero Crate and Villain Crate, if it's a character you really love, then why not try it out, because it's not too expensive. They're only $20 now. So, but most of the time the items in there are just overly generic. They're not hard to find, and for collectors I probably wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, that's been Villain Crate number 14. Then, number 13. We got Geek Fuel. So another box we're seeing the last of. This is the last time we'll ever see this box. It's been fine. It's not too expensive. It's about $24. And it's always been good. but it's never been great. They've never really hit it home. It's never been terrible, but it's just never been awesome either. It's always been right around the mid-tier. It's always been in the middle. It's always just kind of been flying under the radar and coasting by. I think if you got it, I don't think you'd be disappointed at all, but I can't imagine someone really going out of their way to seek this box either. They have a referral program as well, which is good, but the items in here were fine. I got a really nice book. They've put nice books in there, a hardcover book. The shirt was pretty good in quality. You got a little ice cube maker for like a whiskey-style ice cube that's in the shape of a Death Star. That made sense. And then some other stuff that was just generic, that third-party stuff that they kind of make themselves. But anyway, yeah, it's just in the mid-tier. There's not too much more to say about it. It's decent in quality. You always get game codes. If you like Steam game codes, I definitely say try it out because you get one every single month. So if you're a huge gamer, like PC gamer per se, then yeah, totally check it out. I'd say it's worth it. But other than that, you know, you can take it, you can leave it. Not much more to say. All right. Need a drink. Number 12. We got Comic Block. Now, this box is fine too. Obviously, you'd have to be into comics and want comics to get this, but here's the thing about it. It doesn't really always, like, lean towards one specific market. I always think there's two kinds of comic book people. There's the readers and there's the collectors. Obviously, honestly, usually the same kind of person, but I just feel like they should appeal to one or the other instead of switching back and forth. Because sometimes they have like rare comics in there, so that's more for the collectors. And you probably wouldn't read that because some of them are sealed and not just bagged and boarded, actually like airtight seals. So you either have to decide whether to read it or collect it because you have to take it out of the package. And then the other half of the time, they just have good comics in there that aren't rare or collectible at all. So if you really like comics, then yeah, totally go for it. But I just feel like they should appeal to one or the other because it's just hard to place it sometimes. The books this month were not particularly rare. Most of the books this month had pretty low value, which is not usual. Usually they always put exclusive books in here with higher values, so you can collect them or you can resell them, which is nice. This one had a cool book. It had Batman and Ninja Turtles comic, which is really cool, but it's not rare at all. It's extremely common. So it kind of depends on how you feel about it and what your feelings are about comics. So this is where you kind of put your own personal taste into it. But just know, when you get this box, you're going to get all comics. Probably 3 or 4 comics, a shirt, and then one other item. Usually a keychain, a sticker, a magnet, something like that. So if you love reading comics, then I'd say totally check it out. If you're a collector of comics and not that much of a reader, then maybe, but other people, probably not. But you still get good value. This month's value wasn't crazy high. Normally it is, but this one was just okay on the value. But it's only a $20 box, so you're not risking that much, so it's no big deal. But yeah, I thought that was good. Getting right around that mid-tier. Alright, number 10. Nerd Block Jr. From the Nerd Block Company. And this is a good box as well. You get decent value. This is obviously geared more towards kids. And this box will share items from the other Nerd Blocks. So all the other Nerd Block boxes have individual items that you're not going to see in the rest of the boxes for the most part. But Nerd Block Jr. is the one exception. It will actually pull items from the other box and put them in here. And I've had mixed feelings about that, but from what I've been hearing in the comments, people actually want that. Apparently that's what people are looking for, and they like that. I thought it wouldn't be a good thing to have duplicate items, but apparently the common thing to do is that people buy them for their kids who already get Nerd Block. So a parent has Nerd Block, and they get Nerd Block Jr. for their kids, and they actually want the same items. Which, you know, that's not my personal taste, but if that's what people want, then that's what people want. Because, you know, these reviews aren't about me. It's not about my opinion. It's about you guys. It's about what you think, because I'm trying to review these for you guys, to help you get the best perspective. So, if you guys say that's what you like, then hey, then more power to you. I personally, I'm not sharing this with any child. I'm taking these all for myself. So, for me personally, that doesn't work out for me, but that doesn't matter. My opinion on that does not matter. So, just know if you do get boxes from the Nerd Block company and you're just thinking of trying this one out to see what's up, just know that you will get duplicate items. If you're buying it for a child separately, no worries, you're good there because you get some cool stuff for kids, and you get decent value. But just keep that in mind. So, that was number 10, Nerd Block Jr. Number 9, Super Geek Box. So this box has always been good. They do a good job. You get good value, you usually get double your money, and you get a good mix of stuff, and it's generally pretty good in quality as well. But there's usually never anything super amazing here. Nothing in here is pretty much ever going to be rare, and most of the time you're not going to get exclusive stuff unless it's something they made themselves. You're probably not going to get like exclusive figures from a company or anything. So keep that in mind, but that doesn't make it a bad box. They don't have to be exclusive stuff. There's no rule that says they have to be. It's cool, but it's not like mandatory. So you got a good mix of stuff. You got a nice little Deadpool Dorbs figure, which I'm sure we're going to get a lot of in the month of February, because I'm sure everyone's going to be doing Deadpool stuff. We're going to get swamped with that. But, you know, still a cool figure. I liked it. The shirt was decent. Got some cool socks, a figure, sticker. That's great. And good value, so it's a good box. But if you're trying to collect, I probably wouldn't go with this because you're not going to get any rare stuff. But if you're just looking for a fun box, that's cheap, that gives some good variety, I'd say go for it. This box usually doesn't disappoint. They've had their off months, but they're usually pretty good. Always give good value. Definitely worth a try. I have nothing to really complain about from this box. There's a little nitpicky stuff, but if you're looking for something cheap and fun and don't really care too much about exclusives, totally the box for you. Check it out. Alright, number 9. Number 9 is Arcade Block. No, not Arcade Block. Sorry, I put it in the wrong place. Nerd Block Classic is number 9. So, Nerd Block Classic, as you can tell, Classic Nerd Block is just an overview of everything nerdy, like comic books, superheroes, fantasy, all that stuff just kind of mixed in. So, if you don't have a specific taste and you want just a general idea, this would be the box from that company. This month, however, was just okay. They had a good shirt, and they had good items in here. Nothing really rare per se. Nothing. They had some exclusives, but the exclusives weren't that great. It was like a pin and a keychain, and also I think a mouse pad. Which, you know, we get mouse pads so often. I have like 20 of them, so I'm just never too thrilled to see a mouse pad. And honestly, you kind of only need one usually, unless you're putting them together, which you just don't need that many mouse pads. And you got an ice tray, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that, but again, how many ice trays do you really need? And then a pop figure, which wasn't rare or anything. It was pretty common. It's another Star Wars pop figure, which we've seen dozens of lately, so it was okay. Nothing bad about it. You got good value. You got good stuff. It seemed to be geared very much towards a Star Wars theme. Most of the items in here were Star Wars theme, except for one Star Trek item, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with Star Wars, but I don't think they should put a classic block that's a general overview that's so focused on Star Wars. It should be a blanket of everything, a little bit of everything, a little sci-fi, a little fantasy, a little comic book, like a little bit of everything. The fact that they did it so much Star Wars, I don't think it was the best bet, because everyone did Star Wars in the month of December. Everyone had Star Wars items, and to do it all towards that is just overdoing it, because some boxes are specifically for Star Wars, like the Smuggler's Bounty, or like Villain Crate was specifically for Star Wars. So I think they should have mixed it up a little more, but you know, again, nothing wrong with the items. That I just feel like it should have more variety for a classic block. But anyway, that was number 9? Something like that. I think I said the wrong number for Super Geek Box. Yeah, I skipped 11. Damn it. Alright, well anyway. Number 8. It's hard to keep count with all these boxes. I have 18. I totally lose count all the time. Don't judge me. Number 8. Arcade Block. So, this one, you know, pretty similar to the Nerd Block. You got a good mix though. This one's obviously for gamers. Not necessarily for game playing, but it always has game variety stuff. We got some exclusive figures from Titans, which we are often getting from the Nerd Block company. And they're always good. They usually come in a little window box so you can display the figures without taking them out. It was from The Last of Us, which seemed like a really cool game. Looked like it had cool graphics and stuff. I can't imagine a lot of people wanting those specific figures, but you know, whatever. It seemed like a good franchise. And we got a shirt from Just Cause 3. which I hadn't heard of before, but again, that's just me. So we got good stuff in here. I really like the deck of cards. I thought the deck of cards was really cool. I used them over the weekend, and they had really cool pictures, and I really liked them. They were very cool cards. I thought they were genuinely cool. But, you know, this stuff in here was good. Nothing fantastic. Nothing that, a lot of things that I didn't recognize because I'm not a heavy gamer, but some things I wasn't totally familiar with, which is not their fault. That's my fault. That's nothing against them. But, you know, it was good. Good items. Good value. But this is right in the middle of our tiers, our mid-tier here. And, yeah, not much more to say about it. You could do with it. You could do without it. Sure. Number 8. Alright. Number 7. TMNT Box. So, this one was a bit of an odd one this month because I got it last month and it was crap. It was, I think, the lowest on the countdown. I got a terrible score. The items in the box were fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It just was extremely generic stuff and had very low value. You barely got what you paid for on the box. And it was just so common. It just looked like someone took a $20 bill, went to Target, and just like bought everything Ninja Turtles they had for $20 and mixed it up. And this would have been the same, but interestingly enough, they had a bonus bag in there. Now, I haven't confirmed this because it's pretty impossible to contact this company. I contacted them with a problem months ago, but never heard back, and a lot of people have had the same problem, so that affected their score. But they had a bonus bag in there, and I call it a bonus bag because it was literally a bag that had a sticker that said bonus on it. And that brought up the value a lot. You actually ended up getting a high value and pretty much double what you paid for, which was surprising. But I think it was just a one-time thing. I think they did that, because this was a December box, I'm assuming they did that for Christmas as just a thank you to all the people that supported it. Because if it was an every month type of thing, it wouldn't be in a separate bag titled bonus. And also, I just don't see how I don't think it's plausible that they've done like really like poor quality boxes and then all of a sudden are doing really amazing ones. I'm not getting the next one's one because I canceled them because of problems with them, but I can't imagine them doing this well ever again in the future. I imagine them going back to the low value. But I could be wrong. If they do keep up this momentum and keep the high value, then this is a great box. Then you're really getting a good one. Obviously, strictly for TMNT fans, you wouldn't get this if you weren't, so it's very specific, but at least you know what you're getting. And the things in there, last month was very generic. This month, still pretty generic, but you got a really cool shirt with like different colored sleeves. You got a good mix of stuff. You got figures, some socks, a watch, a toy, a shirt, so it was a good mix of stuff, and you ended up getting a lot. So if they continuously do bonus bags for everyone, then I'd say go for it. But I'm just being honest, I don't think they're going to, and I think it's going to be like it was last month, which you only got a few items, they were very common, and it was very low in value. But either way, this month they did put the bonus bag, so that raised the value, and that raised the score. Whether it continues, doesn't matter. This month, it did good. So, there we go. Number 7. Alrighty, number 6 was a new box we saw this month. Fandora's box. So this is one I had not heard of before, and that's because it was a brand new box, brand new company. This is their first box. And usually new companies and new boxes I'm very skeptical of because it's just hard for them to do good their first month. New companies, they just don't have a lot of contacts. They don't have a lot of money because they haven't started yet. Not a lot of revenue, not a lot of stock. And it's just hard to do a good box. It just is. It's difficult. But this one actually did pretty good. You got a good mix of stuff. They had pretty good choices. Nothing in here was like crazy rare, but nothing was extremely common either. It was just like a tiny bit rarer than the common stuff, which made it kind of nice. But they also had good choices. We got a really cool bottle opener in there, Thanos' hand with the Infinity Gauntlet. That's really cool, and it was really nice in quality. Got a cool comic. The shirt was done well, and everything in there was branded. It was no like self-made crossover stuff. The shirt was a crossover, but they did a good job, and the quality was nice. So overall, pretty good box. I was very impressed that they were able to pull that off for their first month. So I think it's worth checking out. I only got one of their boxes because I was very skeptical about it. I kind of didn't want to do more than one. But, you know, I'm going to let them get a little more momentum, but I think I might try them out again in the future. I need to filter out some of these boxes because 18 a month is too many. There's too many boxes. I think we can all agree on that. So I need to filter some of these out, shrink down the amount I do, and then I think I'll revisit this box because I was pretty pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it, and I think most people would too. Alright, that was number 6. Number 5. Horror Block. So, this one I was pretty skeptical on too, because I'm not a huge horror fan. I like horror, but I'm not a hardcore horror fan, like most people are. There's a huge horror following out there. There's so many people that are like diehard fans, and I'm not technically one of those. I like it, but I'm just not that committed to it, so I was worried that I wouldn't like a lot of this stuff or recognize it. But so far, so good. So far, everything I've gotten, I think this is the 3rd month I've got it, has been pretty good. It's been stuff that I've recognized and stuff that I've liked. And pretty much everything in this box was exclusive, which is cool. None of it's rare or super expensive, but exclusive just meaning that you don't have it because it came from this box. With the exception of, I think, the magazine, but, you know, whatever. So everything in here was pretty good. Good quality, exclusive stuff, good value, horror genre. Why not? Yeah, not much more to say. Good job. They've done well. There we go. Number 5. Number 4. Gotta move my drink. Alrighty, number 4 was Loot Crate. This one always does pretty good. Very cheap box. It's only about 20 bucks a month. And they are one of the original monthly Geek boxes. So they know what they're doing. They're good at it. They have partnerships with so many companies, with Funko, with Q-Pop. So many companies they have partnerships with, so they're always getting exclusive stuff. And at this point, almost everything in every box is exclusive. Now, their stuff isn't always fantastic, though. Some of the themes they pick are a little and some of the items they pick are just like, okay, like, it's exclusive, but it's like, alright. Like, for example, they put a big tin in here. It's a nice tin. It's an exclusive tin. It's from Halo. Great game. But it's a big empty tin. Like, I don't really know what to do with it. Like, I can put stuff in it, I guess. I can put spare change in there. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it was just a tin. So it's like, well, okay. And the same with, like, we got some socks. They were exclusive, but they're socks. So it's all good stuff, and it's good variety, and it is exclusive. And some of the stuff was pretty, had pretty good value. Like the Han Solo exclusive pop had a pretty good resale value. And the shirt was cool. Got a nice NASA shirt. But I don't think anything in the box, like, particularly blew me away. I wasn't like astounded by anything, even though it was all exclusive. But you know, it still gets higher on the countdown because they really do have tremendous value. As far as like dollar for dollar, what you pay and what you get, this is probably one of the best ones out there because you're almost always guaranteed to get at least double, and a lot of the times you get almost triple your value. And at that point, like, it doesn't even matter what's in there. If everything in there is triple what you paid for, then it's kind of hard to be upset with anything because worst case scenario, you hate everything in the box, just go flip it online and you're pretty much guaranteed to at least get your money back, if not a few bucks extra. Like, how can anyone hate that? And if you did like it, which I'm sure lots of people did because it was cool stuff, then you're golden. Like, not much to be disappointed about. So, considering it's such a cheap box and they've done such a great job all the time, there's just really not much of a gamble. So, it's a pretty safe bet to try out Loot Crates. They've been around a long time. They know what they're doing. They often get exclusive pop figures, which everyone loves. And Q-Pop is a new company that is on the up and coming, so hopefully we see more from them in the future. So, overall, a great box. The only thing I would say about it is just sometimes their themes and sometimes the items they pick aren't fantastic. Not that they're bad, they're just not like blowing away fantastic. But still a great box nonetheless. Loot Crate, there it is. Number 3. We're in the top 3. And I think we're making pretty good time. So number 3 would... Number 3 is F-Box. So this, last time I checked, they are not coming back and doing monthly boxes. But they came back for Christmas as a gift to us all, and did one Christmas box, which was cool, and I was lucky enough to get one, so that's really cool, and I appreciate that. I hope they do come back around. I know the company's had some issues with some customers, and I don't blame them for like taking a break, but I really do hope they come back for monthly, because it is pretty cool to get them, and it's a hard box to get, so the stuff in there is actually rare. And something I like about this box, you get exclusive stuff, but exclusive means almost nothing anymore. It just means it's exclusive to that box. It used to mean rare and valuable. It does not anymore because there's so many of each box put out every month. It's not rare and it's not valuable at all. This box, however, does exclusives and rare items that are rare to everyone, not just this box. It's not things that they make just for this box. It's things sometimes just from Fugitive Toys, but also just generally rare items. Now this one actually got not a low score, but only got a 6.25 on it. But I didn't realize that the Santa Claus Funko Pop figure from Rudolph, I thought it was just a generic pop, because it didn't say exclusive, it didn't say anything about that, so I thought it was just a generic $10 pop. Found out later that it had been retired, so it actually was quite valuable, much more value than I gave for it. So this moved up in the rank a lot more than it would have because someone pointed that out to me. And that's really cool because not other boxes do that. Other boxes, they're big companies, so they make partnerships and they get exclusive items for the box, but very few boxes actually go find exclusives. Find ones that are rare to everyone and then put them in the box. So it's kind of hard to see rare items in boxes these days, because like I said, companies like Loot Crate and Nerd Block have, I think some of them have like 500,000 customers, so they put out 500,000 boxes every month. So that item's just, no matter how exclusive it is, it's not rare. There's 500,000 of them. Whereas this one, they take things that are already out there, already exclusive, and put them in the box, which is good. That shows, it's hard to do, one, and that shows a lot of effort. Sometimes the things in here are pretty common. They had some common items in here, but it was still cool. Got like a horror doors of Jason. But we had one really rare one, which was the zombie Ed from Shaun of the Dead, which that was worth like quite a bit. And then the Santa, which was retired on top of it. So you got really good value, and you got rare stuff, which is very uncommon. So I hope they do come back around because we'd love to see them. But this box is incredibly hard to get. They have very limited numbers. And because of things I said, they're finding things. They're not producing items and putting as much as they want. They have a limited number of what they can get. So that makes it really cool, that makes it rare, and that makes it special, which is hard to find as far as boxes these days. So that's why I got the number 3 spot. I'm glad I got it. Next, number 2, Marvel Collector Corps. So this one has been in the number 1 spot almost always. It's rare to not see it in the number 1 spot. This month just didn't quite do it. They tried something a little bit different this month, which is fine. Variety's totally good. Some people liked it, some people did not like it. So it kind of depends. Variety's always good. You kind of don't want to see the same type of items every single month in a box, but at the same time, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. This is a Funko box. You see Funko items every month, but this is a Funko box. So some people were expecting more of the pop figures, but we didn't really get them. We got pop-style ornaments, and we got a pop-style mug, and we got a scarf with pop-style images on there, but you didn't actually get any pop figures. And you also didn't get a t-shirt. So some people like the scarf, some people are going to put it on display, but some people don't want a scarf. Some people don't have a lot of use for it. So it was still great items. They're still all exclusive, made just for the box. They were still all cool, but the only reason it didn't get number 1 is because not everyone loved the little changes they made. Some people wanted the stuff the way they were. So there's just like a group of people that kind of didn't like it. No, it didn't make it bad. There was nothing wrong with it, but that's just what brought it from number 1 to number 2. It just didn't please everyone. And that's what these ratings are about. The general population, not a select few. How this will appeal to everyone. And I think a lot of people were pretty disappointed with this box. It was a Christmas-themed box. Everyone loves Guardians of the Galaxy, but the items in here weren't super collectible or rare. They were just still good, but I think people wanted more collectability, more rarity out of it. But we'll see what they do on the next box, which is Deadpool, which I'm super excited that they did, and I can't wait to see what they got because it's going to be all exclusive. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Super excited. Anyway, number 2. Then, the number 1 spot was Comic-Con Box. This has gotten number 1 before, but you know, it doesn't always. It's jumped around the countdown a lot. So it's hard to get a good idea on this box. And it's a $40 box, which is expensive. That's a lot of money to gamble with every month if they're not going to always be great. That's too much to throw away if it's not going to be great. But you know, I really thought this month's box was great. They had an exclusive figure in there that wasn't pop. It was just from Nintendo. And it's very rare. And it actually has a really high dollar amount. And I thought the shirt was really cool. It had a nice like record shirt on there. We got some comics that were exclusive to the box with rare variant covers. And most of the things in here were exclusive. And you got fantastic value. On the low end of it, you pay $40, and on the low end, you got more than double what you paid for it. You on the high end, it was almost a $100 box. Like, that's great. Like, that's fantastic value. On top of good quality stuff, on top of branded stuff, on top of exclusives. Like, all around, I pretty much liked everything in the box. They only had like 2 items in there that were just like filler, but even still, it was like earbuds, which were really cool, and then one little toy, which was like no big deal. But I thought they did a great job, and they had some cool comics in there. And yeah, overall, great on quality, good on variety, good on value. Had some exclusive, had some rare items. All around, that was just a great box, and you got good return on your money. So really nothing to complain about. No complaints whatsoever, and they did a good job. So this month, I think they deserve the #1 spot because they just did well on all aspects of the rating system. There was nowhere where they had a divot. So they did a good job. I hope they always do that, but you know, being realistic, they're not going to. They have their off months where they get really low on the countdown. It happens. So if you're looking for some bigger ticket items, this one doesn't necessarily have big ticket items, but you usually get a lot of stuff. You usually get a ton of items in there. So if you want to pay a little bit more, $40, and get more items, then go for it. And this seems to be a pretty good company. They seem to be picking up momentum, making partnerships, getting more exclusives. They often get exclusive comics and prints and things like that. So overall, very well. It's just a high dollar amount. So that's kind of up to you. It's like opposite ends of the spectrum. If you just want a cheap box with some fun, cool stuff, Super Geek Box or one up. But if you want something with a lot of items and cool stuff, then something like this would be more your style. But that's, again, just up to you. Don't get too caught up on the exact ratings. I'm doing the best I can to judge what you guys might want and where you would place them, but I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, and I'm not some all-knowing, all-being rating system. So, you know, kind of judge it yourself. Anyway, we've made pretty good time on this monthly review. Didn't take up too much time at all. This is one of the shorter ones because I didn't do my little spiel at the front. Anyway, yeah, if you want to join in the community, feel free to do so. I've been trying to hold a competition, not a competition, but a giveaway that I've been trying to do lately. If you want to enter the giveaway, just post something, a video of mine, something about the channel on social media, and send me the links. There's only been like 2 or 3 people that have done it, so I haven't done a giveaway because not enough people have done it. I don't want to give it to like just one person each time we hit like a certain amount. I kind of wanted to get some momentum going, but really no, not many people have done it. So if you want to get in on the giveaway, post pretty much anything, post a few things here and there, and you'd have a really good chance of winning. So just want to throw that out there. Anyway, this has been the monthly review of December. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I was able to help you out a little bit in your decision-making process, because that's what I'm here for and that's what I like to do. We're a pretty tight community and we like to help each other out, and that's what I'm here for. So I will see you guys around. I will see you in the boxes of January. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I can get caught up. So I'll see you on my channel, or I'll see you on Geek Talk, that we're probably going to have an episode of soon. Check us out on Johnny Tejas or Your Average Techie. I'll be on there. So anyway, this has been the Beardy Nerd with the monthly review of December. Hope you enjoyed. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Peace.